Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. Today, we're going to be talking about how times like these, where we're in a recession, nonetheless, regardless if a political party names it a recession or not, we are in a recession. We're going to talk about some tall tale signs that you can actually be saving the money, investing money, but most importantly, those very little intricate things that you can be doing to fatten your pocketbook, to fatten your wallet, that I think that we're really not doing. Everybody is kind of living their life. They're trying to have some sort of normalcy about their lives, which probably isn't the right time to do so. Everything is more expensive, even though inflation has decreased from 9.3% back down to 8.5%. But for record keeping, it is astronomically high, and we should be very, very careful. But nevertheless, we're going to get into some news stories. We're going to fly through some news stories. We're going to get to some extreme saving ways. Tune in, watch, stay. Okay, so as we're watching the news here, there's a lot of things going on in the news that I know you probably don't really concern yourself with. But investment news is very important, especially if you have a career, you have a job where you are contributing to your 401k, to your 403b, and those other retirement accounts. So when you're wondering why your portfolio is down $1, $2, $10,000, then this news is very pertinent for you. Dow and S&P 500 fall Tuesday, notching 3-day losing streak. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to occur most likely until the end of the year because of the recession that we're in. There are a lot of indicators within the economy that let you know that we are in a recession, okay? Whether it be the shortage of microchips or the inflation or the Feds raising the heights. A couple of months ago, gas was extremely high. All of these are tall tale signs and indicators of us being in a recession, and you should respond to the economy very differently than you did last year. I mean, ever since 2020, if you notice, the economy has been having kind of an upset stomach, right? It's been doing all of these very volatile things that's been affecting your bottom line. Now, my advice, if you have it, and if you have the propensity to invest more, invest more. But if watching your 401k and 403 is absolutely scaring the shit out of you, then you should be saving your money. You should not be you should not be expending and spending money on things that you absolutely don't need. Okay, so just looking at the economy in a 360 sort of view, we see here that Nordstrom cuts full-year forecast, citing slower customer demand. It states here that Nordstrom lowers annual profit and sales forecast. So all of these little bits of information are data. There's metrics to give you a kind of a sense of how the economy is responding to the current times that we're living in. And in these things, other than the pandemic, has been by the bad decisions of the government. Now, I don't want to blame everything on the government of the conditions that you're in, because that's going to just give you a scapegoat. That's not the thing here. What we're referring to is the lack of policies or policies that have been in place. Now, anytime, and I don't want to go too political on this, but I just kind of want you to watch how different political parties, when they are in charge of the Senate and the House and the presidency, how they operate. Anytime we have a Democratic sort of government, they do extreme spending. Anytime we have a Republican sort of government, they give big tax breaks to large corporations, and some of them are saying, "Oh, we're doing that to bring back jobs. We're doing that to increase profit shares." All these other reasons that they come up with, essentially. Okay, but I just want to, and that's my conjecture, but that is the truth as we know it. How both political parties operate. Goldman sees 50 base point Fed hike in September. So Goldman and Sachs is basically stating that in September, the Feds may hike the rates again. Okay. Again, we're still currently in a recession, and this is getting very, very volatile and very, very dangerous. Now, I did have a list here. I'm not going to really go through this list of all the extreme ways that you guys can save, because some of this stuff I know we're not going to do. I'm not going to do this. Like, make your own toothpaste and deodorant. I'm not doing that. Okay. I will go to the dollar store and buy some deodorant before I go there. Become a vegetarian, maybe when I'm 50. Okay. Turn off the AC. I live in Texas. That's not going to happen. Lower the heat. Okay. Wear some socks, have a throw blanket, put on a hat. I can do that for a couple of hours. Okay. Save some money there. Mend your clothes and darn your socks. All right. I know how to sew. I was in the military. I know how to sew. I can probably do that. Make your own cleaning supplies. White vinegar, baking soda. So I might as well just go to the dollar store again and buy a dollar bottle of bleach. So some of these things that you guys been reading, how do you save more money? Sometimes you just got to reason with yourself, like, I'm not going to be doing this. Freeze your food. Okay. Buy in bulk. That makes sense. Get free cosmetic samples. Absolutely. Dumpster dive. Hell no. Live with your roommates. Yeah, after 25 and 30, living with roommates kind of gets played out. It becomes uncool. Use coupons all the time. Attend network events for free food. Indeed. Please do that. Stop using paper towels. I guess you can use washcloth. Use restaurant condiment packets instead of buying them. That's a really good cheap way. I don't mind some Chick-fil-A sauce every now and again, some ketchup from McDonald's. Okay. Save restaurant napkins. That's right. Take them right off the table and put them in your pocket. I mean, if you're there and you're grabbing a cup of coffee, you're a customer, correct? So you are entitled to some of their napkins. That don't mean take all of them. I don't know what some is in your book, but maybe it ranges in the 50 napkin range. I'm just kidding, but maybe it does. Always shop in the sales section. Of course, that's where we always shop. Take online surveys. I actually received $100 by doing an online survey. So that's actual thing that you guys can earn money back from. In this case, you can't see that. Let me blow that up. Rent out a spare room in your home. Okay. And now, ladies, if you're single, I don't advise you to rent that out to a male just because of you know what I'm getting at. But definitely use one of your spare rooms to bring in some extra cash. That's one of your first steps to real estate. If you got extra rooms in your home that's not being utilized, they stay empty and you don't really have visitors or families coming over, make money off that room. And depending on the area that you're in, you can be charging someone anywhere from $500 to $1,500. Did you guys see the average rent in New York lately? The average rent in New York, in Manhattan to be exact, $5,000. The average rent in Manhattan is $5,000. So if you have a spare room in Manhattan, then you can probably charge $2,500,000 for a room, because somebody's going to be thinking, I just saved $2,500. Okay. Sell your old clothes. I usually donate my own clothes because that helps me on my taxes. If you donate your clothes to like the Goodwill, the Salvation Army, and you ask for one of those receipts, you can actually itemize that list up to $5,000. That will be a tax reduction on your taxes. So either you want the money up front and sell your clothes, or you want the tax deduction on the back end. So that frees up, and so you may not have to pay taxes, or you get a larger return. Okay. So the reason why I bought that too, because even during this time, my family and I, we still travel. We pick and choose what travel locations that we go to, because a lot of times in difficult times, we still want to do those things that make us happy, the things that we enjoy. My family and I, we absolutely love to travel. I don't know if some of you guys seen this video or not. I'm not going to play all of it. I'm going to play just a small portion for you guys. And this is Ocho's Rios, Jamaica. We're in absolute wonderful time here.
So
What's
here
going
it
on,
is,
Brent
ladies
C?
and gentlemen.
Nice to see you,
a beautiful
brother.
resort here in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Ocho's Rios almost sound like it's a Hispanic name. I'm really trying to find the correlation of why they named it that. But again, the pools kind of circle the entire property almost. We have pools everywhere. Very beautiful property.
So if you guys want to see this full video of my lovely wife and I,
and I heard you have to pick it at a certain time. If not, it's poisonous.
Check this video out on my channel.
Yeah.
But if you wait until it's open on its own,
okay.
The venom inside.
But again, family, I won't bore you with my fun times. I want you to create your own memories and your fun times. But I post those videos on my YouTube channel to motivate you guys. I don't like showing off, but I do like to motivate people to do better with their finances, okay? So you can take lavish trips or your first trip to Mexico, which is one of probably the cheapest trips that you can ever take in another country, okay? Other than, going to Canada if you live in Washington State like I did, and there's nothing there. It's just cold in the winter and warm during the summer. But anyway, so the current rate of inflation, as I was stating before, is 8.5%, down from 9.1. At one point in time, there was news that came out that inflation did rise to 9.3%. So we're getting a small relief when it comes to inflation. So that means that your regular items that you get from the grocery store, eggs, milk, bread, and such, those prices should come down. But what I know about manufacturers and people who price their products or whatever inside of stores, once they set their price at a particular point and they notice that inflation hasn't came down to, let's take for instance 6.2%, down back in October 2021, you're going to see the same prices, if not more. Okay, they're going to make that extra money off of you, even though that inflation has decreased. Just be aware of that. You may think, well, I heard in the news that inflation is down. So why are these prices of eggs, bread, and milk, just to name a few, why they're at the same amount? Because they're trying to recoup any money lost during the time they were selling the products on the shelf from October 2021 until July 2022. So be very, very cognizant of that and be aware of that when you guys go out to shop, okay? Now, I want to point out the current interest rate of home mortgages, and that I still don't believe that is a good time for someone to buy a home. And the reason why I say that, the last time I showed these interest rates, the highest interest rate for a person with 700 to 719 credit score was 5.5%. Okay, no more than 6%. Now we're noting, and this is Texas, okay? I'm just using Texas as an example. And we're talking about 20% down on a $300,000 loan, because if we put 20% down, we understand that we can avoid the PMI, okay? The private mortgage insurance, okay? So that's why that number is there. Now, when I change, we're going to go up the credit scores here to see how the different interest rates fluctuate. So when I go to 720 and 739, you really don't see a huge difference in the amount of interest that you'll be paying on that 30-year fix or that 15-year fix, okay? So let's jump maybe to 760. Now you're starting to see a slight difference, but again, family, we're still at 5.4% on 15-year fix, and we're still at 6.1% on 30-year fix. So you damn near have to have a perfect credit score to get a good interest rate, but let's check it out. Still at 6.1%, still at 5.4%. So it really doesn't matter. Now let's increase the loan, because sometimes that can make a huge difference. Okay, if you get a loan for $400,000 at a 30-year fix. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, family. This is the Ramsey. Okay, sorry about that. I was just watching Dave Ramsey, and I'm gonna bring that up later about Dave Ramsey because I know a lot of you guys watch Dave Ramsey. I watch Dave Ramsey every once in a while, and there's only one disagreement that I have with his teaching style. Okay, but nonetheless, we'll get on that later. Now, as you can tell, family, I went up to 800 credit score, and it only went down 0.2% on the 15-year fix. Let me just go back a couple here. We're still at 6.0% on a 30-year fix. We go up to 800. We're still at the same amount. Okay. Now, the average score of an American. Okay. Let me go back up here. The average credit score in the United States is 698. Okay. The average score here in America is 698, and that's your Vantage score. Okay. But roughly, that's still going to account for your FICO as well. Now, in order for you to be considered to have good credit, you see here, you need to have a 740 to almost an 800 credit score. And if you're not over that 720 mark, I definitely would not be in the market for trying to purchase a home. I think you need to work on your credit first, stack your cash, save your money, and then start to look in the market for a home. But even now, homes are extremely expensive. Okay. So I know a lot of people are just holding on to their cash, continue to save your money because that's going to help you not only with the PMI, but to put a large down payment, which will decrease your monthly payments over time. So that's important as well. So you just don't have extra money, especially if you want to buy a home. And here's the thing. If you're not noticing, buying a home is one of the most financial sound decisions that you can ever make. Because after 3 to 5 years, you're going to build equity in that home. And guess what most people do? They borrow against that equity in their home and they start to buy property. They start to start and buy businesses. And this is exactly what you can do. Sometimes people think, oh, I need to save up for 10 years in order to fund this business. I need to save up for 10 years in order to buy this property. No, family. One of the quickest ways to wealth is buying a home and using the equity, using the money inside of that home to create that business you always wanted to start. Okay. Now, we're going to come down here a little bit. Nope, this is not it. Let me move on. So to kind of give you an indication where I keep my credit score, there's a lot of transparency on Financial Literacy 101. Not that much transparency. Let me log in really quickly. And I'm going to just show you where my credit score is. And I'm going to show you the timeline of how my credit score has been increasing and decreasing over time. Give me 1 second here. Do I need to play some Jeopardy music? This is taking longer than I expected. Bear with me, family. All right. Here we go. So currently, my FICO score, as you can tell here inside of my Navy Federal account, is 783. And if we go back to between October and November, it was 798. I was about to go over to the 800 threshold, but I made some money moves. So anytime you do anything with your credit, inquiry, they check it, whatever the case may be. An inquiry, when you are searching for a loan and someone says, okay, this is going to be a hard inquiry on your credit report, there's no rhyme or reason why they're going to deduct 2 to 5 points from your credit score. That's on average, 2 to 5 points, but that is typical. And within a 30 to 45 day range, you have that amount of time. And it differs from a house or a car. Okay. A car, I think it's maybe 2 to 3 weeks that you have for a numerous amounts of inquiry before it really hurts your credit score. And I believe a home is anywhere from 30 to 45 days. So during that time, you can shop around for the cheapest interest rate for the loan that you want for your house or car. Okay. Now, and again, I went from a 792 to a 789, then back up to a 798. Maybe I paid off some bill. Maybe I had high debt on one of my credit cards, etc. but I continue to pay those things off. Then here, as we look, it went from a 785, 783, 778, 787, and down to a 774. That's because the same thing I'm telling you guys, I did myself. This is one of the true ways you can generate wealth for yourself, okay? Now, and of course, if you guys want to learn more about your credit score, I have plenty of videos that you guys can cover in that. The state of the stock market. The state of the stock market. I'm just going to show you my portfolio here. I'm not doing too well when it comes year to date. I'm down $13,000. And some of you are like, why would you ever advise people to invest when your portfolio is looking as horrible as it is right now? Because I understand the power of investing. I understand trending analysis from year to year, meaning whether it be 2008, 2009 during the recession, when the S&P 500 and the Dow was down 70 to 100 and something points, where a lot of people start to panic and start to cash out on their stocks and their bonds and their 401ks and all other sorts of investment accounts that they have. And they lost thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars instead of just keeping their money in the stock market. Keep their money in the stock market. See, some people believe, oh, I lost $14,000. Let me blow this up. Oh, man, you lost $14,000. No, I didn't. I haven't lost $14,000. The only way I will lose $14,000 if I was to sell every share, stock, and bond that's in my portfolio. From a financial standpoint, I have lost value in my portfolio, not money. It doesn't turn to money until you start to cash out and sell your stocks. Just keep that in mind. Right now, I haven't lost anything. It's still in the stock market because one day this can go up $14,000 and my value has increased $14,000. Haven't really made that particular money amount because I haven't cashed it out, if that makes sense. So that was in a year. And let me go all in all. So all in all, I'm actually only down around $4,800. So speaking from where I've always been, I've been doing really well in the stock market. But as of yet, yeah, not doing so good. But you don't see me panicking. You've been looking at my portfolio for quite some time now. I haven't really done anything dramatic. And I'll tell you this, going back here, this is January of 2021, where I was up $26,000. So I doubled the amount that I've invested inside my portfolio, which is a phenomenal thing. Some of you may say, well, how did it drop so much? Well, I actually took out $10,000, did some things with that. And then I bought an option, a call option for Tesla at $10,000, and that hurt my portfolio. And then the rest, hey, the recession this year has increased my portfolio quite a bit. Now, when we talk about savings, do you believe that you can save $1,000 in, let's say, 6 months? How long would it take you to save a measly $1,000 in 6 months? And believe it or not, family, depending on your financial status, some of you are saying, well, $1,000 ain't, that's a lot of money. Not when you factor in that if you save $84 a month for 6 months, you will have $1,000. Let me make sure. Hold on. My trusty calculator here. So 84 times 6. Am I off a little bit? Let me make sure. I'm speaking out the side of my neck. That's if you get paid every 2 weeks. That's what I'm missing. If you get paid every 2 weeks and you save $84 every paycheck, that will equal out to $1,008. That's simple. So when someone tells me they don't have the room, they don't have the capacity, they don't have it in their finances to save money, I ask them, let me look at your bank account. Let me look at your expenses. Let me look at where you're spending your money at. And I promise you, I can save you $100 or more per month, because there are a lot of expenses that you guys simply do not need to spend your money on, but you do it anyway, right? Because you want what you want, you've grown, you can do whatever you want. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of grown homeless people. There are a lot of grown broke ass people. And it's because of that mindset that they won't sacrifice. Yeah. You've been sacrificing your entire life. Now you want to live it up. Now you want to do whatever you want to do with your finances, but it really hasn't gotten you anywhere. And yeah, maybe you don't have aspirations of being a millionaire. Maybe you don't want to be a billionaire, but I'm pretty sure 99.9% of you guys want to be financially stable. So take this information with a grain of salt. Enjoy your Tuesday. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great, wonderful day. I'm out.